Commission recently honored Native Americans who've made significant contributions to the state. An artist and advocate was honored for her leadership, as Suzanne Potter reports.
This year, Nevada's American Indian Leader of the Year award went to Fawn Douglas, an artist and activist with the Las Vegas Paiute tribe. Douglas has been a big part of the push to designate Gold Butte as a national monument and is now working to save it in the face of a leaked proposal by the Trump administration to shrink the boundaries.
We fought long and hard for several years to get that designation, and that was the voices of Nevadans, not only our people, but Nevadans.
President Trump reportedly is planning to make an announcement about the future of Gold Butte and several other monuments in early December. 1 month ago, Douglas delivered a petition with more than 90,000 signatures to Senator Dean Heller's office asking him to support Gold Butte. She also led a series of public meetings on the monument. Douglas, along with the Native American Student Association at UNLV, pushed for years to have the city of Las Vegas recognize the second Monday in October as Indigenous Peoples Day, something that came to pass last month.
They said that Columbus Day is not an official holiday here in Las Vegas, so there's nothing to replace. But they wanted to recognize the cultural diversity and the indigenous peoples of this area.
Douglas would like to see the state of Nevada recognize Indigenous Peoples Day. A bill to make it happen faltered last season over a proposed compromise to move it to August 9th, which is International Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm Suzanne Potter.
For the first time in 2 decades, South Dakota has a new state epidemiologist. As Gary Ellenbolt reports, his goals include reducing health disparities among the state's 9 tribes.
Dr. Joshua Clayton is a South Dakota native and graduate of South Dakota State University. He has advanced degrees from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Clayton developed an early interest in infectious diseases to go into epidemiology. He has worked with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and also with the State Health Department in Indiana. Clayton says he's very specific in one goal.
I would like to take a look at, where we sit with disparities in the state. They're looking through some of the different data that I have. American Indians have twofold higher rates for a number of things in the state, including the rate of infant mortality, suicide, and smoking. And I would like to take a deeper dive into some of that.
Clayton says he plans to use outside resources to accomplish this task.
Indeed. We have a lot of partnerships looking at both the data that we collect as well as some of the educational information that we push out, both with the Indian Health Service and with the Tribal Epicenter.
Clayton replaces longtime state epidemiologist Dr. Lon Keitlinger, who retired to focus on mission work in Africa. For National Native News, I'm Gary Ellenbolt.
The statewide Suicide Prevention Council in Alaska is working to improve the health and wellness of people in the state. Efforts to reduce suicide in Native communities includes getting people to talk about suicide and help those in rural areas, says Barbara Franks, who's a member of the council.
One of the things that we're trying to do is continue to lift the carpet of the stigma and taboo that still is attached to suicide. And having community members come in and tell us what concerns they have and what gaps we could try to help them close up. Because we're so few and far between our neighbors and we're all spread out, it's really difficult to have the resource that some larger communities have, like Anchorage.
The council, which advises the governor and legislature, held its quarterly meeting in Anchorage last month to discuss prevention efforts. I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced at the Annenberg National Native Voice Studios by Quantic Broadcast Corporation. Funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, with support from the Public Radio Satellite Service.
Support by Drumbeat Indian Arts, offering authentic Native American recordings and religious herbs, crafts, supplies, books, and a wide selection of Pendleton blankets. Holiday delivery on orders placed at drumbeatindianarts.com by December 15th.
Yate, the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce Convention and Tourism Department welcomes the Navajo Nation Department of Self-Reliance's Turning the Curve General Staff Meeting, November 14th through the 17th. Information on this event and services at siabq.org.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.
This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
Well, hi there, everybody in Champaign and beyond. You're listening to WEFT Champaign 90.1 on your dial and streaming live online at WEFT.org. Well, it's 2:05 and we just finished hearing National Native News. So that means it's time for a show called Senor Blues, bringing you international funk and other great music from around the world. My name's Alyssa. I'm filling in for Craig on this fabulous Friday. Hope he's having a great time with his family. I'm happy to be here with you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at what we're going to do today. I don't know about you guys out there, but I'm feeling extra funky today. So I think I'm going to turn up the funk meter on our 2 hours together here today. We're also going to hear some news headlines from around the world at about 3 o'clock. With DW News. So we got a few things going on, and it should be a good time here together. Thanks for having me with you. I'm a brand new Wefty, and I've really enjoyed working here at the station with WEFT Champaign. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and get this party started. I've got a song lined up for you by William Onyebar. This song was originally released in the 70s. William was a Nigerian funk artist. Unfortunately, he did pass this year. But maybe he'd be glad to know that one of his most popular songs is even more popular these days after being featured in an iPhone commercial. So stay tuned and check out this track. It's a fun, funky little number called Fantastic Man.
me how you feel about me, babe. I want you to try to tell me how I look. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, please tell me how I look.
You look so good, fantastic man.
Thanks for being with us here on WEFT Champaign 90.1. It's your community radio station for East Central Illinois. You just heard an excellent Afrobeat song there by Afrodiz. That song was called Bombay. And before that was Fantastic Man, William Onyebar. Good times. Really love those tracks. Coming up next, I've got a piece for you by Jose Conde y Ola Fresca. This is called Oshiri Pan Pan. And after that, we're going to have some new music by Bogat. I think we're going to be looking at number 4 on this compilation album, VR Contigo. So stick around. I think these will really get you moving.
temprano pa' la playa. Comí a solas, estaba desierta. Los alimentos tienen el sabor de buenos momentos, de las personas queridas con quien los compartimos. Pensé en ti mirando hacia el mar, y mi soledad me puso a pensar, si la vida es un viaje, quiero viajar contigo. Si la vida es un viaje, quiero viajar contigo. Los paisajes más lindos del mundo tienen más color cuando estamos juntos. El rayo de luz de los atardeceres hace que tus ojos se ponen brillantes. Los dulces olores del cañaveral sin tu perfume no huelen igual. Si la vida es un viaje, quiero viajar contigo. Si la vida es un viaje, quiero viajar contigo. Sonriemos por los prados colgados de la mano, escalemos las montañas más altas del universo, naveguemos los océanos en las peores tempestades, atravesemos los desiertos del tamaño de continentes, admiremos irrupciones cuando explotan los corazones, veranos, otoños, inviernos, primaveras. Si la vida es un viaje, quiero viajar contigo. Si la vida es un viaje.
You're listening to WEFT Champaign 90.1 and streaming live online at WEFT.org. That last track you just heard was from a group called Bogat. They are of Paraguayan and Mexican descent, now living in Montreal. This is the third album, blending hip-hop with Latin influences and electronica. Really enjoyed that track. I hope you did too. Got a couple of community service announcements here for you, brought to you by WEFT Champaign. We are your community radio station, serving the community since 1981. Courage Connection is an organization which aims to provide a continuum of services so that individuals and families can achieve safety, stability, and self-sufficiency. Their programs include domestic violence emergency shelter, transitional housing, permanent affordable housing, retail training, counseling, and court advocacy. For general inquiries, Courage Connection can be reached at area code 217-352-7151. For the domestic violence hotline, you can call 217-384-4390 or the toll-free number 877-384-4390. More information is available at www.courageconnection.org. Ride Illinois is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving bicycling conditions throughout the state. They are the advocate for all Illinois bicyclists, promoting bicycle access, education, and safety. For more information, you can visit rideillinois.org. Good community services here in the Champaign area. Great organization to be here with at WEFT. All right, let's look at what we're going to listen to next. I think what I would like to play for you is a pretty funky track. And if I can get my technology to work here, that would be fantastic. So, give me just a second here, and I will get things plugged in. And while you're waiting, I hope that you have been thinking about the things that you're grateful for this week, being that it is Thanksgiving. I know that we are very grateful. My husband and I, who, by the way, is in the studio today, are very grateful for the friends and family that hosted us for Thanksgiving in Chicago this week. So shout out to you guys. Thanks very much. We had a blast. All right, let's see if we can get some music going here. I'm looking to play a track for you called Instant Funk by Merchant.
a chance to know her better. But that's one funky night I will remember. Confunction, that is what I felt all over. But that disco loving sexy foxy mama. And it was instant fun, yeah. The funkiest thing I have ever seen. It was instant fun, yeah. That night she was my funky disco queen. La 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 la, oh. La 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 la. La 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 la, oh. La 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 la.
Mejor no digas que no te gusta, solo no te gusta que yo sea. Si yo logro vivir mis sueños, es que los hago realidad. Tanto odio, tanta envidia, tu corazón busca pelea. No me das pena, me das desdeños, pobre agresividad. Queda claro que eres envidioso, envidioso, ay envidioso, eres envidioso. Lo que no supiste hacer, yo lo vine a resolver. Es inútil pretender, hay que saber perder. Mis orejitas ya me silban, bolas de ranas hablan y hablan. No me dicen nada, solo comentan. No saben ni la mitad, la otra se la inventan. A espaldas nunca enfrentan, cada día se lamentan. Los mentirosos no se callan, ellos solitos se atormentan. Y hay muchos como tú, envidioso, envidioso, ay envidioso, eres envidioso. Lo que no supiste hacer, yo lo vine a resolver. Es inútil pretender, hay que saber perder. Para tener lo mío, chico, primero hay que madrugar un poquito. Yo solo a mí me fío, sacrifico, y no es solo de rezar al Diosito. Señora de Guadalupe, la invito, la ruego de protegerme, Rosarito, de lo feo, de lo cobarde. Necesito, por favor, a mí me arde, solicito. Envidioso, aquí tienes un pañuelo. Envidioso, nunca serás mi gemelo. Envidioso, ni me tocas ni te pelo. Envidioso, y no me digas que no. Envidioso, sí, mejor mires el suelo. Envidioso, cuando paso por el cielo. Envidioso, vas a patas cuando vuelo. Envidioso, pobrecito. Envidioso, envidioso, ay envidioso, eres envidioso. Lo que no supiste hacer, yo lo vine a resolver. Es inútil pretender, hay que saber perder. Envidioso, envidioso, estás sediento, si quieres agua ya ves.
Bugat, la Miss Bolivia.
En medio del desierto se murió mi camellón. Levante un pulgar pa' implorar un aventón. Bajo una nave, motor al plutonión. ¿A dónde va el don? Derrumba Babilón. Me subí al sillón del pasajero. Se veía chingón desde el cielo. Modelo de Venus y luz de luna. Hipnotizado por mi salvadora. Conversando de física cuántica y del amor profundo que hay en esta galaxia. Le pasé kriptonita, lo puso en un bomb. Dijo tenis fuego, le contesté Simón. Enciende tu cumbiambero en el cielo. Prende el sistema de sonido y súbelo. Que se oiga el bajo, que se oiga el bombo, que se oiga el chac, chiqui chac, chiqui chac. La cumbia no se fue, esto no es un comeback.
Iba con mi nave regresando de un viaje. Iba sola de paseo disfrutando el paisaje. Y fue que de repente sentí como un llamado. Y subí a un pasajero con aspecto salvaje. Y le dije al pasajero que se abroche el cinturón. Y me dijo muchas gracias mame por el aventón. Me pasó la kriptonita y yo la puse en un bon. Luego le prendimos fuego y arrancó el subidón. Dale, dale con el bajo, dale con el bombo. Dale, dale pa' adelante, vamos al quilombo. Para que explote el sistema de sonido hasta el cielo. Enciende tu nave, papi, el cumbiambero.
Enciende tu cumbiambero en el cielo. Prende el sistema de sonido y súbelo. Que se oiga el bajo, que se oiga el bombo, que se oiga el chac, chiqui chac, chiqui chac. La cumbia no se fue, esto no es un comeback.
¿Qué pasó?
Pa' mis cumbieras y cumbieros en el cielo.
Sale.
Y ahora la despedida. Oye, no ando en jaguario, ando con pantera. Súbele el volumen a mi cumbiambera. Volando por Nazca, toute la nuit. Rumbo a Machu Picchu y Rapa Nui. Enciende tu cumbiambero en el cielo. Prende el sistema de sonido y súbelo. Que se oiga el bajo, que se oiga el bombo, que se oiga el chac, chiqui chac, chiqui chac. La cumbia no se fue, esto no es un comeback. Si escuchas esto en tu nave, pita, pita. Si escuchas esto en tu nave, pita, pita.
Awesome. That was a double shot from Bogat. And really enjoyed those lyrics. It makes me wish that I spoke more Spanish. I tell you what, maybe you feel the same. Well, I hope you're enjoying our day so far here. I think I'm going to try and turn up the funk meter a little bit more here. Finally figured out some technological issues. All right. Hey, there's, it's awfully much of a thing to be in this studio. I don't know if you know that, but we'll get through it and we'll hear some good tunes. All right, coming up, what I'm looking at here is a tune called Tahabord by Imarhan. Let's see if we can listen to this and enjoy it together.
غاشكرش دوتني وين ما غاشكرش دوتني وين ما غاشكرش دوتني وين ما غاشكرش بطو ما غنبرس الدنيا دعتك انا من تسك انطق ما جاتك اصلا من الناس انطق ما جاتك اصلا من الناس انطق ما جاتك اصلا من الناس انطق ما جاتك اصلا من الناس
All right. That's one of my favorite tracks as of late. That's a song called Makeba by Jane. Jane is a French singer-songwriter, and her debut album, Zanaka, was released in November of 2015. It's also a favorite of this station, I would tend to believe. Craig and I enjoyed that one together last week for sure. All right, well, we've got 3 o'clock on the dot, so I'm going to go ahead and get you queued up for DW News. This is world news coming at you. We'll do this for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back with a few more housekeeping items and some groovy tunes. Stay with us.
This is DW News coming to you live from Berlin. A massive attack in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. State media say at least 235 people are dead. Militants bombed a mosque during Friday prayers, then opened fire on worshippers as they tried to flee. We'll take you live to Cairo. Also coming up, the story of a survivor. Could Germany's Angela Merkel benefit from the country's political crisis? Plus,
brought myself the well-being of Zimbabwe and its people. So help me God.
Emerson Mnangagwa is sworn in as Zimbabwe's new president, cheered on by tens of thousands. He promises democratic elections and reaches out to his rivals to work with him to help rebuild the country's economy. I'm Sarah Harmon. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us. We begin in Egypt, where a horrific attack has killed at least 235 people and wounded many more. It occurred in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula near the provincial capital, El Arish. Witnesses say a bomb exploded outside a mosque that was packed with worshippers for Friday prayers. Gunmen then opened fire on people as they fled the building. So far, there's been no claim of responsibility. Shortly after the attack, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi addressed the nation, promising to respond with what he called brutal force. He also declared 3 days of national mourning.
I send my condolences to the families of the martyrs and my wishes for a speedy recovery for all the wounded. Once again, I tell all Egyptians.
That was the Egyptian president speaking a little earlier. For now, we're joined on the line by journalist Kareem Al-Gwahari. He's in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Kareem, thanks for being with us. We know that this was a Sufi mosque. Why would it be targeted?
Well, there are several theories behind it. Of course, we don't know nobody claimed responsibility yet, so we don't know of the real motives of the attackers. But there's speculation about it, why this mosque. And there are two theories. The first theory is that it is a mosque that is frequented a lot by Sufis. Sufis are followers of Islam that follow kind of a spiritual interpretation of Islam, and this is the reason why they are very much hated by the militant Islamists who have a more rigid interpretation of Islam. The other theory is that this village where the whole thing happened is a tribe living there that is known to cooperate with the security forces, and that might be the reason why the mosque was targeted, that there were just some old scores settled in this attack.
The Sinai region is known to be a volatile one. Why is that?
Well, there's a small-scale war between militant Islamists and the state going on since many, many years, going back to the times of Hosni Mubarak. But this war escalated in the last years and in the last months. We always had attacks against the security forces. Hundreds of soldiers and policemen lost their life in northern Sinai. We also had this year attacks against Christians, which followed a big exodus of the Christian population from North Sinai. But this attack on a mosque is a new quality in Egypt. It's the first time in Egypt that a mosque is attacked.
And in return, the president has promised a brutal response. What do you think he means by that?
Well, I don't think he has much left to do because there is a brutal war already going on in northern China. The Egyptian Air Force bombed some positions in North China, but this is also not the first time. So one wonders what the president can really do, which is already done in North China. And the thing is, of course, that they're doing this now since many, many years. And it's again proven again and again that they cannot get this area under control.
Well, we know, looking at these pictures, that the attack occurred as worshipers were attending Friday prayers. Kareem, paint us a picture of what it would have been like at the mosque today.
Well, there is conflicting reports. Some of them said that there's a bomb that exploded in the mosque and then people were escaping and were fired upon. There is other reports that basically the mosque was surrounded by armed men and who started firing into the mosque and then at people fleeing the scene. They must have had a lot of time because there are also reports that they fired upon the ambulance cars who were trying to approach the mosque in order to pick up the injured people. So it must have taken quite a long time until the security forces arrived there or the militants were forced to flee the scene.
All right, that was a quick update from DW News here on WEFT Champaign 90.1. This hour of programming is sponsored by the listeners of WEFT and Dancing Dog Eatery and Juicery. Located in downtown Urbana and serving 100% vegan foods and juices, Dancing Dog offers a full menu of smoothies, lunch, dinner, and Sunday brunch options. Their menu consists of various items made in-house, including ketchup, plant-based cheeses, granola, and salsa. In a hurry with no time to sit down? No problem. Dancing Dog has a grab-and-go fridge offering quick vegan meals in the heart of Urbana. Full menu is available at dancingdogeatery.com. Champaign-Urbana Showing Up for Racial Justice is an organization with the goal to mobilize white people to be engaged and accountable in racial justice work. They do this through self-collective education, disseminating information about how to show up, and addressing the emotional and psychological barriers to effective engagement. SURJ sees accountability to people of color as a core principle central to the work for racial justice and transformative change. They can be reached at facebook.com/CUSURJ. Support the Champaign Park District Youth Scholarship Program. Through the Youth Scholarship Program, families facing economic hardship are provided fee waivers so their children can participate in quality recreational programs through the Champaign Park District. For more information or to donate to the program, go to champaignparks.com or call 217-398-2550. Thanks again for tuning in here to Senor Blues. This is a weekly radio show for international music, usually hosted by Craig. My name's Alyssa. I'm filling in for Craig today, and I hope you're enjoying a little bit of the extra funk that I'm turning on here today. I felt like today was a funky Friday, and I hope you agree with me. Wanted to remind you, as always, that if you are not in radio broadcast area, you can listen to WEFT via our streaming service online at WEFT.org. And it looks like today we have a lot of listeners from around the United States. We've got Kathy up in Alaska and Sarah in Alaska. Good old shout out to Alaska there. We've got E in Arizona, Dale in Arizona, and it looks to me like we've got someone named Grace in California. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate your support at WEFT Champaign, your community radio station for East Central Illinois since 1981. Okay, well, I think we should probably get back to the music. I'm hoping to play a sweet little track for you here from William Onyeabor. This one's called Body and Soul. You just heard Body and Soul by Nigerian funk artist William Onyebar. Really enjoy the crunchy groove on that one. All right, we're going to switch it up just a tad here, and we're going to go to a band called Antibalas. This is an Afrobeat group. We're going to check out their track called Hook and Crook. Stay around here. See if you like it as much as I do.
I went from Lagos to Badagry. I came upon a crossroad. To my left was permaculture. And to my right was a path of no return. So I meditated, feel the ancestors. As I soared up Kilimanjaro to gain an outwardly perspective. I realized I must detach from crooked hooks, detach from life's difficulties, detach, the system living so broken, made by spinal doctor who can cut the crook. The system want now. Let's make it fair and build it. Made to align with all of us, factory workers and fellow students, teaching teachers. Let us do it together. We're now on crossroads of alignment. Each one teach one, permaculture way. Teachers, activist way. I'm gonna live in. I'm gonna live in. Go do. lose your dignity in your neighborhood, to lose your livelihood. This is why I say no more, no taking it personal. Gonna wake up my godo, wake up my godo, godo me godo, godo me godo, godo me godo. Up by my way, yeah, I wanna take back the city. Yeah. Ladies look so good, no, nothing only see a really good bait. Yeah. Missionary girl with Dr. Hugo, look we are begin. I'm hooked from day to day. Practice detachment, stay in the moment, gratitude living every day. Act now, not later, by enemies, by hook and crook. Says the captain used to bait us. Says the missionary used to bait us. Says we used to welcome them. Says they used to grab the land. Says to get back our dignity. Crooked aspect broke the system. Says to end this crooked cycle. I did better, you must be. With a system so rooted in slavery. With a life of recycling vengeance. With a shape-shifting single system. System based on resources. Slave wages, living costs keep rising. No justice, just prison for backbiters. Medication not a cure for cause. You die from spin doctor. The climate crisis, corporate decline. Need more equitability. Yeah. Time together, march and dance. Act now, don't wait, shake up the system.
Ladies and gentlemen, Atomic Bomb present you the Soul Maniac Say. Okay.
You just heard Minyexi by Atomic Bomb Zygodo. That's some West African funk for you. Loving that one too. All right, thanks for being here with us today for Senor Blues, a international funk and world music show here at WEFT Champaign. Looks like we've got an announcement here in the studio from the Art Theater. So let's check this out together. A few new movies coming out. The killing of a sacred deer playing daily concerns a charismatic surgeon who's forced to make an unthinkable sacrifice after his life starts to fall apart due to the sinister behavior of a teenage boy. Okay, that sounds interesting. Sure, you can check these out if you like. Looks like these are playing November 24th through November 30th. Another one they've got on their list here is Novitate by writer-director Margaret Betts, which explores the mysteries of mystical passion in her thematically ambitious, technically precise feature debut. The film concerns a young woman who trains to become a nun as the Roman Catholic Church undergoes radical changes in the early 60s. Very interesting. And next on their list, Moses and Aaron by experimental directors Jean-Marie Straub and Danielle Houllier transforms a familiar biblical tale into a borderline surreal cinematic opera of seemingly endless possibility, screening on November 28th, Tuesday at 7 p.m. For all current dates and times for these movies, you can consult www.theater.org. Oh, sorry about that. That's thearttheater.org. Much better. Okay, very good. Let's keep this going. I've got one up for you. This is another one of my favorites. I just love the experimental nature of the song that's coming on here. This is a US-based band, actually, called Beats Antique, and this track is called Dope Crunk.
Sweet smells.
just heard Remember Tomorrow by a band called Mo Horizons. This is a duo of DJs from Hanover, Germany, and music can be described as a mixture of down-tempo, acid jazz, new jazz, soul, funk, dub, trip-hop, big beat, bossa nova, boogaloo, and drum and bass. I thought that one was pretty groovy. I'm glad I got to play it for you today. Well, I hope you're enjoying your fabulous Friday, post-Turkey Day, spending time with your loved ones. We've got about 10 minutes left on the show here today before we tune you into Democracy Now! So I'm going to pick just a couple extra tracks, and hopefully the funk will hold you over until the end of your day, and maybe even until next week when you can tune in again to Senor Blues and see what Craig has for you. Very nice. Okay. Well, in the spirit of getting things done, let's move right along here. I think I'm going to play something for you called Take Your Soul. This is an instrumental, and it looks to me like it's by the Sahara All-Stars. So let's get that playing here.
Take kind of way. And the darling days, how was it like? Didn't you see that love's the greatest thing in life? From the beginning of time, man was born free to live and love. Have you been ever loved? I say.
Boy, weird.
Commission recently honored Native Americans who've made significant contributions to the state. An artist and advocate was honored for her leadership, as Suzanne Potter reports.
This year, Nevada's American Indian Leader of the Year award went to Fawn Douglas, an artist and activist with the Las Vegas Paiute tribe. Douglas has been a big part of the push to designate Gold Butte as a national monument and is now working to save it in the face of a leaked proposal by the Trump administration to shrink the boundaries.
We fought long and hard for several years to get that designation, and that was the voices of Nevadans, not only our people, but Nevadans.
President Trump reportedly is planning to make an announcement about the future of Gold Butte and several other monuments in early December. 1 month ago, Douglas delivered a petition with more than 90,000 signatures to Senator Dean Heller's office asking him to support Gold Butte. She also led a series of public meetings on the monument. Douglas, along with the Native American Student Association at UNLV, pushed for years to have the city of Las Vegas recognize the second Monday in October as Indigenous Peoples Day, something that came to pass last month.
They said that Columbus Day is not an official holiday here in Las Vegas, so there's nothing to replace. But they wanted to recognize the cultural diversity and the indigenous peoples of this area.
Douglas would like to see the state of Nevada recognize Indigenous Peoples Day. A bill to make it happen faltered last season over a proposed compromise to move it to August 9th, which is International Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm Suzanne Potter.
For the first time in 2 decades, South Dakota has a new state epidemiologist. As Gary Ellenbolt reports, his goals include reducing health disparities among the state's 9 tribes.
Dr. Joshua Clayton is a South Dakota native and graduate of South Dakota State University. He has advanced degrees from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Clayton developed an early interest in infectious diseases to go into epidemiology. He has worked with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and also with the State Health Department in Indiana. Clayton says he's very specific in one goal.
I would like to take a look at, where we sit with disparities in the state. They're looking through some of the different data that I have. American Indians have twofold higher rates for a number of things in the state, including the rate of infant mortality, suicide, and smoking. And I would like to take a deeper dive